My name is Nathan Bussard, and I was tasked with creating a museum that would address a part of the arts field, as well as focusing on a specific part of that museum, whether that be finances, marketing, special programs, education, or events, and so forth. So I chose Terra. Terra is a contemporary ceramics art space that focuses on the advancement and preservation of ceramic activity through an international multi-technique collection organized by Clay Body. We aim to collect artists of different cultures, of different techniques, of different clay bodies, of different designs, focusing on not only how the history interacts with the present, but also how the present will become the future. We are led by a team of cross-industry individuals, not only ceramicists, or people who understand the arts industry, but people who understand things such as entrepreneurship, such as communities, such as cultures, such as marketing, in a way that artists necessarily don't. Because though the art industry functions in a specific way, looking at cross-industry collaboration leads to innovation, and this would allow our organization to take the next step into the future of the arts industry. On site, we have a rooftop garden terrace that works for events, our guests, event rentals, as well as the community. Our on-site merchandising area is for developing artists, our residents, our program participants, as well as artists that we're connected with. Because our idea is that this merchandising area will function as a platform for our artists that we're connected with and allow them to have a platform for sale, while our own marketing materials and merchandise take up only a small portion of our merchandising area. Secondly, we have multiple programs that are based on education and empowering future as well as current artists in the ceramics field. This is our building. It's called The Mug. It was designed by Felder Marchiani Architecture. As you can see, there's two different entrances. The main entrance is a glass lobby that allows you to see into our diagonal facade that is also made of glass. This is based on our logo into a mug shape, hence the name The Mug. We have many floors of gallery space, which within is our temporary exhibition space. We have our community terrace space, which is on our rooftop, and our secondary entrance, which is a lower level of entrance, is for our studio. Our studio has a separate entrance, just so the artists are not having to make their way through our guests in order to carry supplies, in order to work. And this allows a separate entrance of time, because we can close the main entrance, or the studio entrance could still be open, as well as loading and unloading and safety issues with the kiln room. Our gallery spaces aim to have a open and functioning space. As the future of ceramics evolves, we want our spaces to be set to evolve with it. That means high ceilings, wide spaces, and as you can see, a lot of ceramics involves pedestals. That means would require us to have a lot of pedestals that we can work with. And our hope would be that we also have spaces that can work beyond the concept of pedestals, that allow installations, sculptures of larger size, larger dynamics, in order to provide a more interactive space with the art that we would represent and collect. This would be our collection, or part of it. Our collection would range from the works of the studio called Tortoise Copenhagen in his simple and simplistic yet detailed designs of porcelain vessels. The work of Stephen de Stabler in his multi-technique, multi-clay body work and multi-material work in the human figure. You have artists like our Israeli ceramicist who takes small pieces of porcelain to create her sculptures. Other works would include working history into the contemporary age. So this Chinese artists with these cans that are designed in traditional Chinese designs, but are done in a modern format. You have artists like Brett Kern, who brings ideas of pop culture and a childhood-like fantasy to his ceramic works with his dinosaur that looks like a blow-up to a dinosaur, but it's made from ceramic slip casts. You have wearable plaster casts, and you have ceramics that are done as home decor. So the ceramics that we hope to show range from cultural pieces to simple pieces pieces of home decor that show a wide range of what the future and present of contemporary ceramics is. Our programs and events, as you can see, are long lists here. They range from children's events and our 4-week summer program and long residencies to paid internships and master classes. These events are happy hours in our community space. It's inspired when I lived in Richmond, Virginia, from the art museum there that did a weekly happy hour. And this weekly happy hour turned the event space at the museum into a community space. It allowed people to interact, to communicate. It went beyond just walking around viewing art in silence, to discussing art, to discussing the culture. As a cultural institution, they should be promoting not only art, but culture itself, and with culture, it is community. We have our special exhibitions, which are things such as natural clay bodies, unfired pieces of work, solely handled. Our next part would be our fundraising. We have things such as a maker's fair, which would bring ceramic people in connection with the local community, creating an event that involves food trucks, music, special classes, special speakers that bring ceramic artists to be supported by the local community of the museum, as well as like an auction that would be solely supporting our summer program, as I will discuss next. And this auction would be with our artists, and we're in connection with our residence artists to have a large portion of our proceeds of the work sold there to support the summer program. We have an open gallery, which would be free visitation for all spaces, and as well as our residency and summer program exhibitions. Our student summer program is a 4-week program for 6 high school students that would be an all-cost covered opportunity for them to explore ceramics. And this would lead to an application and nomination process with underprivileged students at underprivileged schools or in underprivileged urban areas that would not allow them to have the opportunity to work in ceramic arts. So this would give them the opportunity to explore an art form that they never would have worked in before, an opportunity to find a new passion and a new love. Through our professional mentor and education coordinator, they will design each program based on the applicants that we have chosen and the mentor to create a program that's suited for those of their experience level as well as what the mentor themselves work in. Our studio manager and their team will work to create an adequate studio atmosphere, as well as giving these students an opportunity to explore and learn at their own free will while being guided and taught by this mentor. The final exhibition will give our students gallery and exhibition experience by assisting in executing the fundraising, the planning, an actual execution of this event to create an opportunity for them to see beyond just creating art, to see what it takes to make a gallery happen, to make the art industry function. These students also will receive full profits of any of their artwork sold at the exhibition. This will then lead to them having some money to pursue their own artistic future. Through the guidance of our mentors and our team, we hope that the funds that they receive from selling this work will give them the opportunity to pursue their future, whether that be through education, through studio time, through special classes, to continue in whether it be ceramics or another art form. This table shows our expenses to cover full costs and our revenues, mainly highlighting our members auction. As I said earlier, would love to go into covering these costs. Special ticket sales, all sales for the special exhibition will go directly into this program. And our supplies partnerships, we would love to work with organizations for in-kind donations to fund supplies that are needed for these students who will most likely be coming with very few, if not any, ceramic materials. And so our goal would be to provide them with packages and sets of tools, of supplies, and allow them to explore in ways they've never been able to explore the arts before. Lastly, our residency is a biannual residency of 20 weeks working with 6 artists. You can see our studio set up here, which the students in the program would also be working with. And this studio setup is 2 individuals per studio room and a large kiln room. This also has a temporary exhibition to follow. The studio fees, we would like to have none due to sponsorships, which I'll highlight in the sponsorship program following this. Our aim would also be to provide a stipend. If not possible, the artists are still responsible for purchasing their own supplies. Because due to funding, we would hope to be able to apply this stipend for them to their supplies, but things don't always work out. As artists, they are responsible for purchasing their own supplies in this nature because we cannot anticipate what each artist would require. They would be allowed to use whatever is in the studio, whatever work is there, we would have a clay extruder, but they would also be responsible for any special supplies they need. Lastly, the application interview process. This is done normal application style. There will be an interview, and it is done by a selected team that of our director's board and our staff to analyze and discuss which individuals would fit our team. Our residency sponsorship program is a 3-step residency sponsorship program: bronze, silver, and gold, which equal 1 month, half term, 10 weeks, and gold, which is full term at 20 weeks. Each of these residency sponsorship programs highlight different benefits due to your amount of support. We believe that if you support our artists, you support our system and our mission, then you deserve to have access to our resources. So, like the bronze, they have 1 sponsored post, free tickets to the residence auction, a logo on the website, and 1 free special exhibition. Whereas the silver, more exposure on our social media, more exposure due to their support, as well as more free tickets and more entry into our events. Lastly, gold will receive tickets to all special exhibitions. They'll receive free rental of our Terra space for an event when our schedule allows, and free entry to the museum as well. As a whole, Terra aims not only to preserve and promote contemporary ceramics, but also to function in a way that it is moving forward hand in hand with the future of ceramics. So as we step forward by supporting young artists, by supporting current artists, by working hand in hand with a program that takes high school students who are the future of the ceramics and promote them, we hope that by taking these artists, that we can make them better than when we found them, by giving them opportunity, by giving them education, by giving them somebody that stands beside them and gives them support. In that way that we can make these students, but also the world and the ceramic art industry and the art industry as a whole, better than when we entered it. Thank you.
Cool.